Hello and welcome to this training session on logging into Office 365 and the use of Teams. To be able to access your Office 365 account, please open a web browser and enter office.com. So click to sign in and enter your GP username followed with @xswhc.nhs.uk and then next. And enter the password that you usually use for your Outlook email account. So as this is web-based, you'll be able to access this anywhere in the world on any device. Now you're into Office 365. At the time of video in this tutorial, Outlook has not yet been linked. So hopefully when you log in, it will all been completed. But if it hasn't, please do give it some time. So when you click on each application, they will open up in additional tabs so that you'll never lose your Office 365 application home screen unless you close it. Okay, so moving on to the application Teams. So once you've opened Teams for the first time, a pop-up will appear asking you if you want to use Teams online or to download the application. I would suggest downloading the application as it gives you the option to video call. For the moment, we'll use the web version. To start chatting to somebody, type their name into the search bar at the top of the page. Every single person that is on Swift's domain will be able to be contactable on here. So once you've found the person that you wish to chat to, click on their name and the chat will be created. So you will notice that this conversation appears in the left chat column. Every person that you chat with, the conversation will be listed here. So in the current chat, you can start typing. And when you're done, either press the little paper aeroplane in the bottom right hand corner or press the enter key on your keyboard. Once that is sent, it will appear in the chat log. You will notice a little tick next to it, which is confirmed that it is sent. And when the person has viewed it, it will turn into an eye. So underneath that text box, there are a few other icons. The main icons are the text formatting icon, shown with an A with an overlaying pen. This works exactly the same as it does in Word, where you can make the text bold, italic, underlined, cross through, highlight, and so on. So the next one is the exclamation symbol. This is to mark the urgency of your message that you're sending. The next one is the paperclip, and this is to attach a document to the chat. Another way of sending the document is to drag the item into the chat and then press send or return on the keyboard. The next symbol is the smiley face, and this is to add an emoji to your text. The GIF icon will be everybody's most used icon. You can search through thousands of GIFs and send your chosen one and add it into your chat for a bit of light humour. The sticky note icon is for stickers, which works in exactly the same way as emojis. The paper aeroplane with the tail is for streams, and this is sharing videos. The trophy icon is for praising someone by sending them a badge. There are different badges to choose from, and you can add text to the badge and send it when you've completed. So for this part, I'm switching to my desktop Teams application to show you how to call somebody. The call options are displayed in the top right of the chat. The left button is the icon for the video call, the middle button is for a call without video, and the right is to share your screen, and it will give you the option to use audio with the other person or not. So if you want to video call, the camera is automatically turned on. If you want to use the call button, your camera is turned off, but can be turned on at any point through the call. The person you are calling is given the option to use their video or not in both calls and video calls. So I'm in the chat, as you can see, with the lovely Ben, and I've clicked on the call button. So this will not show my camera feed, but it will show Ben's if he's allowed it. Okay, so he's allowed video on his side of the call. If I wish to activate my camera, I would click on the button here. The next icon is the mute button, and this will mute my microphone, which is really handy if you're in a conference call with multiple people. So the next icon is if I want to share my screen with Ben, but I'm going to ask him to share his screen with me, and he'll do this by clicking on that button, and then I'll ask him if he wants to share the whole screen or just a particular window. And I've asked him to share his whole screen. So now we're viewing what Ben can see, which is his Teams. So by clicking this button that I'm hovering over, it will end the screen sharing and it will go back to the video call. So Ben can allow me to take over his screen, or I can ask by clicking on the request control button and it will ask him if he wants to accept. So now he's accepted, it will show you whose cursor is whose by displaying your display image next to the cursor. So if you don't have a display image, it will show your initials. So now I have full access to his PC. So I can go in, make changes if need to, and this is great if somebody needs assistance or training. So the next icon is the three dots. So this gives you extra options when you're using videos, such as changing your background to like galactic environments and so on. If you want to send a typed message to all the members within the call to reference something, or if your microphone isn't working, you can do this by clicking on the speech box. So if anybody from the call has added a message, the text box will display an orange dot next to it. So the icon that displays two people will allow you to see who is on the call and the option to invite more people to the call. So once you're finished with the call, just hang up using the red phone. So looking at what else you can do in Teams, the Teams tab is where you can view the groups that you are part of. This works in the same way as chat, but it keeps everything in one place. So if you have ongoing projects, you could set up a team for that project, which would ensure that everybody is receiving the same information and the documents in real time. The Calendar tab will link up your Outlook and import all appointments and meetings, which is really handy so you don't have to duplicate it. To schedule in a meeting using Teams, click on the New Meeting and it will bring up a new meeting box like you are familiar with in Outlook. To add members to this meeting, start typing their names into the required attendees box, add a date, time and any other details. You can also add a channel to the booking so it appears in the Teams project information log. The Schedule Assistant is really useful as it gives you an insight to the invited members' availability. So once you're happy with this meeting, press send and the invited members will be notified of this. If you wish to start a meeting instantly, click on the Meet Now button, which is next to the New Meeting button. This will automatically start a meeting, but with just you in it. Before the meeting is active, it gives you the option to select if everybody is allowed to see your camera. The middle tab will give you options to blur your background or use a static background as previously mentioned, and it gives you the option for your mic to be on or for it to be muted when you're joining the call. So if you click Join Now, you have the option to start inviting members to the call. They will see this invitation pop up in the corner of their screen, just like this. Once you are finished with the call, just hang up. So the next tab is the Calls tab. So this is pretty self-explanatory. So you can add people to your speed dial, you can add contacts, you can look at the history of who you've called, and if you've received any voicemails. So the next tab is Files, and that's all the recent files that you've received or are on your groups. And the three dots tab is if you want to add any more applications within Teams. So if you do need any assistance with Teams or anything to do with Office 365, please do get in touch by emailing us on digital.angels at South Warwickshire GPS.nhs.uk and we'll be more than happy to help.